Hello, everyone. So, today I have the wonderful Mabel with me. And I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again just to clarify that I name the vessel, not the spirit. So, the spirits that are attached, my hopes in doing these investigations is to contact the spirit, communicate with the spirit, and them tell me about themselves. That way I have a name to then address them as going forward. So until I have their name and their information, I name the vessel. And so this vessel, this is a very, very old doll. Um, just a little backstory on how I acquired this doll. I had gotten a message from a friend that somebody was, it was kind of like an estate sale, but it was posted online. Somebody was going through their parents' belongings. The parents had passed, and so they were going through their garage, and there was these really, really old dolls. And so I went and made an offer on the box of them, and I brought them home, and I realized pretty quickly that these dolls were very old, anywhere from 1900s to 1920s. This doll in particular is anywhere from 1920, 1925. So this doll is very old. When I got them home, I realized that a few of them actually had spirits attached to them. Not all of them, but a few of them, because it was a big box full of dolls. And just a couple of them out of this lot had attachments, this being one of them. So, we will be interviewing Mabel. Now, I do have another EMF detector, which is on the other side of Mabel. This one actually makes noise and lights up as well. So, when it does light up, it also makes noise. So, I figured I have the one that just lights up, and then I have the one that will now light up and make noise. So there's lights up here, and these will light up, and it'll also make like a sound. So I figured that this would be a great tool to add for these investigations. So I did have six blinky balls, but I laid out four of them, and I had two on the bed. And when I came in, my cats somehow found them, and I found one on the floor, and I can't find the other one. And so they have stashed that away for a future fun. So I have 5 blinky balls today. So I'm just going to start the investigation. So, hi Mabel. I'm Nicole, and we have a bunch of tools that you can use to communicate. The green dots that you see scattered around here, this is a laser grid, and so if you walk through it, I will be able to see you walking through it. We also have these blinky balls right here, so I'm just going to touch this one. If it wants to work, there we go. So as you can see, you actually have to manipulate the ball to get it to work. We have 5 of these. We have one right here next to you. We have this one, and we have the rest on that table over there by the candles. There's also a white disc up there that if you touch it or move near it, it's a motion sensor light, and the light will go off. We have these EMF detectors, so if you come near them or touch them, interact with them in any way, they will light up. This one will just light up. This one will light up and make noise. We have the EVP recorder, which is up here. You can see this little red light. If you speak loudly into that light, when I listen back to the recording, I will be able to hear you. Hopefully, that is the hope. But if you speak loudly into it, usually that is the case, that I'll be able to hear you. Then we have the spirit box. The spirit box I will be using a little bit later in the investigation. I do see the lights being blocked out over there. Oh, might have been my cats. So, cats and lasers. So, I am just going to get started. So, Mabel, can you tell me what your actual name is? And if you speak your answers into the EVP recorder, into that red light, then when I listen back, I'll be able to hear your responses. How old are you? Oh, thank you. Actually forgot to mention the flashlight. Can you shut it off for me? If you turn it in the opposite direction, it will shut the flashlight off. Can you please shut it off for me? Now, the flashlight is like a hit or miss type thing. Unless I get, okay, unless I get solid interaction, I would not chalk it up to spirit interaction, or, spirit using that tool. Because the flashlight sometimes, like you set it to just before it turning on to make it a little bit easier for a spirit to use it. So if it does not go on and off to answer questions, then I would not say that that is spirit. If it does go on and off, if you ask it to turn it off and it turns it off, or ask it to turn it on, yes, no questions, things like that, then I would say that that's a little more reliable. So Mabel, if you turn that flashlight on, could you please turn it off? No. Okay, I'm just going to, I'm going to reset it. Okay. Are you a little boy or a little girl? Oh, oh wow. So you are a child? Are you an adult? Can you tell me where you are from? What year did you pass away? I see the EMF detector going off. Can you make the other one on the other side go off? It's the long black box on that side. Can you make that one go off as well? Is there anything you'd like to say or a message that you'd like to pass along? Did someone greet you when you passed? If someone greeted you, who was it? Do you like when I read stories at night? Now, when I had asked earlier if you were a little boy or a little girl, the EMF detector seemed to spike. So, I'd like to clarify, are you a little boy or are you a little girl? Do you feel like you need help with something? Now, before I move on to the spirit box, could you please interact with the spirit balls? It could be this one or that one down there or even any up there, or the motion sensor, EMF detector, something to let me know that you're here. I know it can be hard to interact with these tools, but if you gather energy, you might be able to make one of the spirit balls go off. And I do understand that it's difficult to interact with things that are not of your plane of existence. But it is possible. Now, I do know that with the spirit box, it's a little bit easier. The spirit box creates energy to make it a little bit easier to use that tool to communicate. And so I'm going to turn the spirit box on, and you can use it to speak through it. And even if I don't hear your answers in real time, when I listen back, I'll be able to hear them then. So I'm going to turn this on. Jesus. As I blow out my eardrums. Hi, Mabel. You can use this device to talk to me. Can you give me a sign that you're here? Mabel, can you tell me what your actual name is? How old are you? Did I hear the age 9? Are you a little boy or a little girl? Are you an adult? You can use this device. This device will not hurt you. Nothing here here will hurt you. Are you a child? Can you tell me what your name is? Where are you from? How old were you when you passed away? Did someone greet you when you crossed over? If someone greeted you, who was it? Do you like it when I read you stories at night? I saw the EMF detector go off. I try to read it to you as often as I can. Do you like the stories? Can you see me? Is there anything that you'd like to say? I don't know if you just like this side, but I'm going to switch these. Why? Because I would like to see you interact with this one. It'll light up, it'll make noise. You can still use the other one if you like. Do you like it here? think it was off before. So I had turned this on before I started, and it was off. So, do you like the cats? Do you play with them? Is there anything you'd like to say before I shut this off? Did you say Mary? Mildred? I heard the name Mary. Is that your name? Are you a little girl? How old are you? Would you like me to shut this off? Oh. Did that flashlight just go on? Was that you? Can you turn it on again? I'm not entirely sure if that was the flashlight because I was looking down, but I just seen like a bright light on the wall for just a second, and by the time I looked back I didn't see anything, so I'll have to check back on the video to see if that was in fact the flashlight. If it was, if you turned on the flashlight, could you turn it on again? Well, there it is. Thank you. Can you shut it off for me? Could you shut it off? You just got to turn it in the opposite direction and it'll shut it off. So that was the flashlight that I saw. Now that's been off for quite some time. So this could be spirit, but I'm still not saying it's 100% because at this point, even asking for the flashlight to be shut off, it's not shutting off. So it may have started as spirit interaction, but now it's just on. Now, I'd like to know if your name is Mary, because on the spirit box, I had heard the name Mary, but I also heard the name Mildred. And so I'm not sure if one of those names are yours. If you are Mary or if you are Mildred. If you can turn off the flashlight, then we can use the flashlight for yes no questions. So if you could please turn the flashlight off, and then we can try to answer questions that way. I know it's hard. I definitely do think that the flashlight started off as spirit interaction, and it may just be too hard to muster up the energy to shut the flashlight off at this point. So I'm going to shut the flashlight off. Oh, and it just shut off on its own. Let me just fix it here. All right. So we're going to try it now the flashlight's off. Can you turn the flashlight on? For whatever reason, this keeps turning off. And I know that there's brand new batteries in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay quiet for about a minute. You can speak into, I just saw something walk by. I literally just saw a shadow walk by this way. Oh, I have goosebumps. So I just saw your shadow, I think, that you were walking, you were heading towards the direction behind me. Was that you? Can you give me a sign that that was you? Well, what I was going to say before I saw that was I'm going to stay quiet for about a minute, and you can do anything in that minute. You can leave me something to listen back to on the EVP recorder, so you can talk into the red light as loud as possible. So when I listen back, I can hear it. You can talk into that. You can interact with any of the devices here. You can do anything that you want for this last minute. the blinky ball over there by the candle. Thank you. I'll sit here for just another minute and see if you want to interact with anything else, because I do know that it's hard to gather up the energy to do so. Some spirits have more knowledge on how to interact with things like this, and I feel like it may take some practice to learn how to gather the energy to interact with objects. And so I will sit here for another minute and let you interact with anything that you want. I'm going to hold this EMF detector right here. If you'd like to come and stand near it and make it go off, you can do that as well. That's weird. I don't know why it keeps shutting off. Thank you. The blinky ball's going off again. I'm just going to go over there and check this area. Oh, I set the motion sensor light off. Okay, so I set the motion sensor light off twice. I'm going to leave this right here. I'm definitely going to have to figure out why it keeps shutting, keeps shutting down. But if you want to stand next to this and make it go off, you can. And you see, it goes off. It shuts off whenever I ask. Now, when I say go off, I mean to make the lights light up and to make the sound, not to shut it off. Oh, there goes the blinky ball again. So if you want to make this light up, just come over here and stand near it. It's really cold right by my hand. Can you make this device light up and make the sound? This right here. I don't know if I can get it to stand up. There we go. It seems to still be on right now, so before I shut this off, if there's anything that you would like to say or do, now is your time. You can say it into the EVP recorder. You can make the EMF detectors go off. You can play with the blinky balls if you want to continue to do so. The flashlight is there. Anything that you'd like to do, feel free. Well, thank you very much, Mabel. I am going to be listening to the recording tonight to see if your name is in fact Mary or Mildred, because I would like to address you by your name. Thank you for coming and interacting with me, and I hope that you enjoy it here, and I hope that you enjoy the stories that I read you and the little toys that I leave around for you and things like that. And to anyone watching, thank you so much for watching this video and coming to join me and Mabel. And until the next video, I will see you then. Bye.